Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Myself Dr. Akshay, and in today's session I'm going to be discussing about the topic factors that affect net rate of diffusion. If you guys want to learn more about the transport of substances through the cell membrane, then click subscribe and the bell icon. So let's do this together. Coming to the topic factors that affect net rate of diffusion. So in this figure A, you can see there's a cell membrane with higher concentration of substance on the outside of the cell membrane, whereas lower concentration of substance on the inside of the cell membrane. So here the rate at which substance diffuse inward is directly proportional to the concentration of substances which are present on the outside of the cell membrane. This is because this concentration determines how many molecules strike this outside surface of this membrane in each second. Therefore, we can say the net rate of diffusion of substance is directly proportional to the concentration of substance on the outside of the membrane minus concentration of substance on the inside of the membrane. So the effect of membrane potential on diffusion of ions is determined by Nernst potential. So in this figure B, when an electrical potential is applied across the membrane, these electrical charges which are present in these ions will make them to move across the membrane even though no concentration difference is present in both sides. So in this left panel of this figure, you can see the concentration of substance is almost equivalent to the concentration of substance which are present on the right side of the membrane. So here a positive charge has been applied over the right side of the membrane, whereas on the left side we are applying a negative charge. Since these ions are negatively charged, this negative charged portion will repel these negatively charged ions away from this portion, whereas on the right side this positively charged portion will always attract these negatively charged ions. Therefore, more and more electrical charges will move towards the right side. So we can say that the net rate of diffusion occurs from left side of the membrane to the right side of the membrane. After some time, you can see large quantities of negatively charged ions has moved towards the right side. This has been demonstrated in this figure C. So in this figure C, you can see the concentration difference of ions has developed on the opposite side of the electrical potential difference which has been applied. So here the concentration difference of ions over the right side will always tend to move these ions towards the left side, whereas the electrical potential difference will always tend to move these ions from left side to the right side of the membrane. So when this concentration difference rises further enough at one particular point, this concentration difference and electrical potential difference will balance each other. At normal body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, this electrical potential difference and concentration difference of univalent ions such as sodium ions will balance each other. This can be determined by the equation known as Nernst equation. So the Nernst equation, which is given by the formula, that is EMF, that is electromotive force, which is expressed in millivolts, equals plus or minus 61 log C1 divided by C2. Here C1 indicates the concentration of substance on one side of the membrane, whereas C2 indicates the concentration of substance on the other side of the membrane. And this equation is extremely important for the transmission of nerve signals, and that we will cover in the subsequent sections. So next, coming to the effect of pressure difference across the membrane. So pressure actually means it is the sum total of all forces of different molecules striking at a particular surface at a given instant of time. Therefore, having a higher pressure on one side of the membrane means it is the sum total of all forces acting on that particular surface at that particular point of time is very greater than that on the other side. So the result is that increased amounts of energy are available for the net movement of ions from one side of the membrane to the other side of the membrane. That is, from higher pressure side to the lower pressure side. And this effect is demonstrated in this figure. In this figure D, you can see that we are applying a pressure, and this pressure causes these large number of molecules to strike this particular surface and thereby to diffuse on the other side of the membrane. So that covers the topic factors that affect net rate of diffusion. I hope you guys learned about this particular topic. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys in the next session.